Hello there, very good evening and welcome to the news tonight where we get you the day's top stories. I'm Tracy Shilshi and here are the headlines. Election Commission meets both factions of Samajwadi Party to decide who gets the party symbol. Verdict likely before nomination process starts for the first phase of UP elections on the 17th of January. Controversy over Prime Minister Narendra Modi's picture replacing Mahatma Gandhi on the Khadi Commission calendar. Opposition parties object to Modi being shown spinning the charkha. Army Chief General Bipin Rawat says suggestion and grievance system in place for all divisions. Asks troops to use the suggestion boxes instead of airing grievances on social media. And Supreme Court asks the petitioner seeking a postponement of the union budget to state what provisions have been violated. Says it does not find any material in support of his PIL. Posts the further hearing for 20th of January. Starting with the Samajwadi Party saga, and the Election Commission today reserved its decision on the matter of the Samajwadi Party's election symbol, the cycle. This was after both factions of the party met the commission officials. The factions, led by Mulayam Singh Yadav and his son Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav, have staked claim to the control of the party as well as the symbol. The commission wants to settle the matter before the nomination process starts on the 17th of January for the first phase of polls.
अखिलेश यादव जी का जो पार्टी है, उन्होंने इलेक्शन कमीशन में अपना पक्ष रखा और कहा कि जो साइकिल का सिंबल है वो उनको मिलना चाहिए. दैट इज समाजवादी पार्टी लेड बाय अखिलेश यादव. और दूसरी तरफ से मुलायम सिंह जी के वकील ने अपना पक्ष रखा कि ये सिंबल उनको मिलना चाहिए. लगभग 5 साढ़े 5 घंटा बहस हुई और बहस के खत्म होने के बाद चुनाव आयोग ने कहा है कि हम जल्द से जल्द फैसला करेंगे. इसके बारे में क्योंकि बहस हो चुकी है, अब ये निर्णय आया नहीं है, तो उचित नहीं है कि मैं कोई भी टिप्पणी इस बारे में करूं. क्या अब चुनाव आयोग जो भी तय करेगी वो मंजूर होगा.
अखिलेश का राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बनना वैलिड है या नहीं, तो
चुनाव
उस पर क्या कहना था?
यही है कि भाई उन्होंने नहीं कहा चुनाव के बारे में कुछ भी.
हाँ.
और यही कहते रहे कि स्प्लिट है.
हाँ.
हमारा कहना था स्प्लिट नहीं है.
हाँ.
चुनाव इनवैलिड है.
हाँ.
अब वो खुद न्याय करें. कुछ भी नहीं, हम दोनों पार्टी को सुना गया, कोर्ट ने कहा हम न्याय करेंगे.
सर, क्या आप लोगों ने
और ऑर्डर रिजर्व कर लिया. दैट्स ऑल.
एफिडेविट्स के बारे में आप लोगों ने कहा है कि ये
बिल्कुल फर्जी है.
तो कौन सा पॉइंट आपने कहा कि हर एफिडेविट में जो आपने कहा कि एक गलती है जिसे पता चलता है कि फर्जी, क्या गलती की गई वो जो एफिडेविट लोगों ने जमा कराए हैं?
ऐसे है, कट पेस्ट किए गए हैं सारे. एक ही चीज है, अगर एक में गलती है तो सारों में गलती है.
Well, the Akhilesh Yadav faction is confident of not only retaining the symbol but also getting an absolute majority in the upcoming polls. It is banking on a development agenda that it claims has gained a lot of popularity among the voters. Mulayam, meanwhile, the Samajwadi Party patriarch, recently said that Akhilesh will be the next chief minister. But despite the remarks, there seems to have been no efforts to iron out the differences between the father and son on the contentious issues. The 7-phase assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh will start on the 11th of February. Filing of nominations will start on the 17th of January. Well, Kriti Mishra, our correspondent, has been tracking developments regarding this story, joining us on the phone line from the capital. Kriti, like you were pointing out earlier, of course, the EC still has not given out any particular date or a time when it's going to come out with a decision. Most likely it's going to be Monday. Meanwhile, what are both sides preparing to do in a possibility of the symbol being frozen and them being given a new party name and a symbol?
Well, Tracy, this was a penultimate moment for the Samajwadi Party tug of war. The hearing that lasted for 5 hours almost, where both the factions led by Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav and his father put forth their arguments, asking that the commission to allot party symbol to them. Meanwhile, both the factions are also preparing alternative options. As far as Mulayam Singh Yadav is concerned, he's believed to call Lokdal chief Sunil Singh to his residence last week, where he's believed to have discussed the possibility of contesting assembly polls on the Lokdal symbol if EC denies him the SP symbol or freezes it. Similarly, Akhilesh's camp is also contemplating the idea of going ahead with the symbol of motorcycle and with the new name Akhil Bharatiya Samajwadi Party. So definitely both the factions are looking at options if the Election Commission decides to freeze the symbol to go ahead with the polls. And of course, as you said, that the nominations for the polls would begin on January 17th. So definitely both the factions are racing against time. Tracy?
Absolutely, and we are seeing a softening of stance, at least from Mulayam's position. If you think about it, he is agreeing to the fact that Akhilesh will be the chief minister even after the elections, if they do win the elections, of course. That he's, of course, said the past few days. And, you know, this time as well, his council there also saying that they insist that there is no split in the party. While, of course, Akhilesh is going ahead, saying that there is definitely a split, but I have the numbers with me.
Well, that position, of course, adds to a lot of confusion in the whole thing, because one faction goes ahead for the party symbol, the other faction also goes ahead for the party symbol. The basic contentious issue between these two factions is that of the post of the party president. While Akhilesh is not ready to relinquish that post, he's been reiterating again and again that he wants to continue to be the party president only for 3 months so that he could emerge victorious and could give this victory to his father. Meanwhile, Mulayam Singh Yadav has maintained that he would continue to be the party president. So that is definitely one sticking point, and where these two factions are not coming together on the same page. But of course, issues remain, and Mulayam has been keeping a very soft stance as far as his son is concerned. So definitely the story is getting convoluted day by day, but things would sort it out once the Election Commission comes out with a final decision.
All right, waiting for that then. Thanks so much, Kriti, for joining us with those details. Meanwhile, opposition parties today criticized Prime Minister Narendra Modi being featured with a charkha in the 2017 Khadi and Village Industries Commission calendar and table diary. Traditionally, Mahatma Gandhi's picture appears on the calendar. But KVIC chairman V.K. Saxena said that there is no rule or tradition that only Mahatma Gandhi's picture can be published on these items. However, the BJP tried to downplay the controversy, stating that the father of the nation is irreplaceable. Many parties, in fact, called the development worrisome. Reacting sharply on Twitter, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee criticized Prime Minister Modi.
The charkha, which has now replaced on the KVIC calendar and diary, is merely a photographic prop. It's a fashion accessory. This government is very prone to making mistakes, but this doesn't seem to be like a mistake. This seems to be like a very thought out and a very well-planned strategy to gain credibility.
He has now tried to become a Gandhi replacement, Mahatma Gandhi replacement, mind you, by evicting Mahatma Gandhi from all the stationery published by the Khadi Sansthan, and there is no other symbol more associated intimately in origin, promotion, establishment of Khadi in India than Mahatma Gandhi, by putting now in all diaries and calendars Mr. Modi's picture. There is no answer by the government, but a quiet whispering campaign is carried out to say that in many earlier years also गांधी जी was evicted.
चरखा और खादी लाकर के अंग्रेजों के खिलाफ जो मुहिम शुरू की थी वो गांधी जी के पहचान है। इस देश में स्वतंत्रता की लड़ाई की एक पहचान है, और गांधी जी की फोटो हटा करके वहां नरेंद्र मोदी की फोटो लगाना, मुझे लगता है इससे बड़ा घटिया काम कोई नहीं हो सकता है। इसकी पूरी निंदा है, और मैं तो मांग करता हूं सारी की सारी डायरी वापस ली जाए।
Khadi Commission cannot ever obliterate or erode or reduce his contribution. Now, if Prime Minister Narendra Modi wants to replace his picture with that of Mahatma Gandhi's picture with his own picture, one begins to wonder either the story is false or the Prime Minister is completely now on the wrong track.
महात्मा गांधी हमारे लिए पूज्य हैं और कोई सवाल ही नहीं खड़ा होता अन्य किसी को उनका स्थान लेने का। क्या वे लोग अपने को भुनाने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहे हैं? जो लोग इस तरह की भाषा का प्रयोग कर रहे हैं वो स्वयं अपनी मार्केटिंग करने की कोशिश करते हैं और जब उसमें विफल हो रहे हैं तो मोदी जी को आरोप लगा रहे हैं।
The Supreme Court has sought material and legal provisions in support of a PIL seeking postponement of presentation of the union budget due to assembly elections in 5 states. Hearing the matter, the bench said that it found no material to support the case. It also asked the petitioner as to what provisions had been violated in the case. The court has fixed the PIL for further hearing on the 20th of January. Earlier, the bench refused to accord urgent hearing to the petition that also sought a direction to strip the BJP of its lotus symbol. The petitioner challenged the alleged, in fact, violation of the model code of conduct that came into effect after declaration of assembly polls in the 5 states. The PIL wants the centre to present the union budget in the financial year 2017-18 at a later date instead of the 1st of February. The Public Accounts Committee today released a statement contradicting its own chairperson, KV Thomas. The PAC said neither a minister nor the Prime Minister could be called for explanation by the panel. A few days ago, Thomas had cited precedents to state that Prime Minister Modi could be summoned if the panel was not satisfied with the responses of the RBI Governor Urjit Patel and Finance Ministry officials on demonetization. In contrast, today's PSC statement, quoting rules, says that officials may be called to give evidence in connection with the examination of the estimates and accounts in a particular ministry. But ministers shall not be called before the committee either to give evidence or consultation. The statement also says the chairperson of the committee may have an informal interaction with the minister. RBI Governor Urjit Patel has been asked by the PSC to explain the demonetization decision on the 20th of January. For more on this development, we've got Vishal Daya, our correspondent, joining us on the phone line. Vishal, how do we see this? How significant is it that the PAC comes out with a statement which is in total contrast to what its chairman, KV Thomas, said just a few days back?
Well, Tracy, this is quite interesting. And in fact, this might be one of those times when the committee is contradicting its chairman. But then if you look at the entire situation, what KV Thomas as the PAC chairperson is doing is quoting the precedents. There have been precedents when the ministers have been called before the committee. That's what was the rationale which was put forward by KV Thomas as the PAC chairperson when he made those remarks that if required, Prime Minister Narendra Modi may be called before the committee on the issue of demonetization. Clearly, what he's quoting right now is one such event in 1990s when the Harshad Mehta scam broke out, and the then Finance Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, was asked to appear before the PAC, and he did, in fact. The Congress, on its part, is also supporting PAC chairperson KV Thomas's stand, citing that in the 2G scam, the then Prime Minister, again, Dr. Manmohan Singh, was willing to present himself before the PAC if required. But then it was not that the PAC did not ask Dr. Singh to appear before the committee. The BJP members, specifically what usually happens in the PAC is that the ruling party has a majority in the PAC in terms of membership, but the chairperson is from the opposition. And the ruling party, the BJP, which is a complete majority in the PAC, is clearly not at all comfortable with the stand taken by the PAC chairperson KV Thomas about Prime Minister's being required to be present before the committee on the issue of demonetization, and that is why this contradiction between the committee and its chairman has come to the fore. Although, as of now, what remains to be seen is whether or not this particular issue, the issue of demonetization, which is being looked suo moto into by the PAC, will move further, and whether or not the PAC will be able to go ahead and compile a unanimous report. Because in contentious issues like these, there has been a sort of a precedent, and that's not way far. In 2G scam issue, the PAC could not submit a unanimous report to the parliament because of this fact itself, that the ruling party members were not in favor of the report which was being compiled and agreed to upon by the PAC chairperson who was from the opposition party. So obviously this is a tug of war which will keep on going between the ruling party and the opposition outside the parliament, but within the limits of the parliamentary committees.
All right, we'll leave it there for now, Vishal. Thanks so much for joining us. I wouldn't be surprised, of course, if the opposition does use this to further push their drive against demonetization. In other news now, in the wake of recent cases where the army and BSF jawans took to social media To raise their anger against the attitude of senior officers, Army Chief General Bipin Rawat announced that Jawans can write to him directly by avoiding protocol. General Rawat announced the setting up of the Chief of Army Staff redressal and grievance boxes at Army headquarters, command headquarters and subsequently at lower levels. He also assured that the identity of any person who writes to him will be protected. He also urged soldiers to have confidence in the senior leadership of the army.
That I have issued orders that in the army headquarters we will have a Chief of Army Staff suggestion cum grievances box placed at various places. We will follow suit with similar Chief of Army Staff redressal and grievances boxes being placed at the command headquarters and then subsequently to the lower formations. Anyone, irrespective of rank, service, can use these mechanisms for putting in whatever they wish to write into these letter boxes so that the grievances reach directly to me and through me these can be addressed. But I would like to highlight that a soldier is a soldier if he addresses his grievances directly, penning his name down on that. We will ensure that the identity of his name is not disclosed because these will come in sealed envelopes into these boxes and directly to me in my office. We will then delete the name of the officer or the Jawan, whoever it may be, before any action is taken. But we would like that people come directly to us.
With that, a quick break here on the news tonight. More news follows in a bit. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to Indian Standard Time.
Interesting thing about Trump is that, he is something of an ideological tabula rasa. Media and the progressive media will have to do is stop looking for, the smoking gun against him. His infrastructure spending proposal is actually 3 or 4 times bigger than what Hillary had proposed.
What senior US journalist Shikha Dalmia articulate in Indian Standard Time on Rajya Sabha television.
Life after death was a cardinal belief in the Harappan civilization. Reflecting this is the skeleton of a middle-aged woman with gold bangles. Excavated from Rakhigadi in Haryana, it's an example of the burial practices in those times. Much like the Egyptian mummies, vessels, eatables, ornaments were kept near the dead body, in the hope that they would be of use to the person in the next world.
Welcome back. Let's continue getting you more national news. And with temperatures dipping at most places as icy winds sweep the plains following heavy snowfall in the hill states over the past 5 days, cold wave conditions continue to disrupt normal life in northern India. At least 25 trains are running late, 8 rescheduled and 2 cancelled due to dense fog. Delhi is reeling under a severe cold wave as the mercury plummeted to 2 degrees Celsius on Thursday, recording the lowest in the month of January in the last 3 years, and also the coldest day of the season so far. Delhi government has extended the winter break of all government and government-aided schools till the 19th of January. The Met Department has warned that the temperature in the capital will dip further in the coming days. In Uttar Pradesh, cold conditions continue as temperatures have sharply dipped in the region. Schools in the state which were rescheduled to open this week have been now extended till the 15th of January. While in Punjab and Haryana, the temperature is dipping below freezing point, Narnaul in Haryana is shivering at minus 0.5 degrees, while Amritsar and Adhampur in Punjab are experiencing bone-chilling cold conditions at 0.9 degrees Celsius. Heavy snowfall in several places of Himachal Pradesh has further intensified cold conditions to resort town of Manali recorded the minimum temperature of minus 6.6 degrees, while Shimla shivered at minus 3.2. Telecommunication links, power and water supply have also remained affected. At least 10 people have died so far due to the intense cold in Shimla. Authorities have advised people to be on alert due to danger of avalanches in snow-line areas of the tribal districts. Meanwhile, in Kashmir, Met Department has predicted light rains and snowfall at several places in the coming 24 hours. Dry weather plummeted the night temperature further below freezing point. Srinagar recorded a minimum temperature at -5 degrees Celsius, with Pahalgam at -13. Gulmarg recorded -13.5 degrees Celsius. The temperature in Leh and Ladakh region was -17.7 degrees.
ज़्यादा ठंडी है साहब, यहाँ पटरी पे मरे जा रहे हैं, नहीं कोई आग जल रही है, नहीं कोई कम्बल है, नहीं कुछ है, ठंड में ऐसे ही पड़े रहते हैं पटरी में, मरा जाते हैं ठंड के मारे बहुत ज़्यादा
है। बिजली नहीं है, पानी नहीं है, क्या करें बताओ। यहाँ इतनी ठंड है कि आग सेक के गुजारा करना पड़ रहा है दुकान से बाहर बैठ।
आने वाले दिनों में जैसा हमने पहले से बोल दिया है कि 10 तारीख की रात से तो 13 तारीख की सुबह तक ये जो पाला पड़ने वाला और शीतलहर ये तो रहेगी, ऐसा पहले ही बता दिया है। तो 14 तारीख के बाद में थोड़ा सा 21 तारीख तक थोड़ा सा टेम्परेचर बढ़ेगा, फिर 21 के बाद थोड़ा और कम थोड़ा होगा, लेकिन ये जैसा अभी कम हुआ ऐसा नहीं होगा।
And now let's get you more national news updates in Nationwide. The DMK is holding agitations across Tamil Nadu to protest against the Supreme Court order refusing permission to hold the popular bull taming sport Jallikattu before Pongal. The state opposition party has also accused the centre and the AIADMK government of not taking appropriate timely steps to ensure that the event was conducted. Supreme Court has refused to pass any fresh order to stop cockfights in Andhra Pradesh. A bench comprising Chief Justice J.S. Khehar and Justice D.Y. Chandrachud declined to pass the order when it was submitted that the Andhra Pradesh High Court direction in this regard is not being followed. Cockfights are popular in Andhra Pradesh during the Sankranti festival. The Supreme Court also today directed that the interim ban by the National Green Tribunal on the glass-coated thread manja used for flying kites will continue. The bench said that the petitioners, who are a group of traders from Gujarat, can move the NGT for appropriate relief. The interim ban on the thread was imposed by the Green Tribunal on the 14th of December last year. Indian Islamic preacher Zakir Naik's Islamic Research Foundation has challenged the centre's decision to immediately ban the organisation in the Delhi High Court. The foundation has claimed that no reasons were given for taking such action under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. The court has asked the government to produce a relevant record on the 17th of January so that the court can see whether there was any material for urgent ban of the IRF. International news now, and US President Barack Obama has awarded his deputy Joe Biden the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest US civilian honor. The medal was awarded with distinction. A visibly emotional and surprised Joe Biden stood by as Obama heaped praise on what he called, quote-unquote, best possible choice not just for me but for the American people. Obama praised Biden for his faith in fellow Americans, love of the country and a lifetime of service. The award comes as both men prepare to leave office when Donald Trump is inaugurated on the 20th of January. Biden has said that he plans to stay active in Democratic Party politics. The Presidential Medal of Freedom has been reserved in recent administrations for just a handful of people, including Pope John Paul II.
Joe, for your faith in your fellow Americans, for your love of country, and for your lifetime of service that will endure through the generations, I'd like to ask the military aide to join us on stage. For the final time as president, I am pleased to award our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
This honor is not only well beyond what I deserve.
More updates from the US and other international stories now in Global Buzz. US President-elect Donald Trump's transition team has been reportedly actively considering ways, in fact, to revamp the H-1B visas. According to sources, Trump's senior policy advisor Stephen Miller proposed scrapping the existing lottery system used to award the visas. H-1B visas is a temporary program used to bring foreign workers to the United States to fill high-skilled jobs. Iraqi special forces have reportedly entered the Mosul University on Friday, a tactical achievement in battling Islamic State militants for control of the city. The troops entered the university grounds and secured parts of the compound. The move comes a day after Iraqi army forces north of the city linked up with troops pushing in from the city's eastern edge. The sprawling university compound was once used by IS militants as a base. James Mattis, President-elect Donald Trump's pick for U.S. Defense Secretary, has accused Russia of trying to break up the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. He also said that the United States needs to stand up to its old foe. However, Mattis's criticism of Russia stands in sharp contrast to the views of his future boss. Trump has repeatedly praised the leadership qualities of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Heavy snow has blanketed Eastern Europe, creating fresh hazards for people already struggling with travel delays, power outages and sub-zero temperatures. With 2 more deaths reported in Poland, the toll has now hit 65. Romanian police halted shipping along 565 miles of the Danube River. In Serbia, authorities evacuated 130 snowbound residents. Schools were also closed in the worst affected areas of Serbia and Romania. And that's all we have for you in the news tonight from the entire team here. Good night.